Hi, and welcome to another video in GHL 101, Likha Workshop, where you learn to skip the click and do the trick. This is Kevin Ray, your IT specialist from OptoGrow. We'll be going through another episode of funnels, but this time we'll be finalizing this singular funnel steps into two more, just to make it complete for our system. So let's go ahead and go to edit, but for me, I already have a tab prepared. So to do this, you don't have to middle click this edit, but click this drop down and then click this edit in a new tab. After that, if you're already here, you can go ahead and go to add elements. The reason I brought you here is because I want you guys to use pre-built sections. The reason for this is that to make this building of your funnels quicker. If you want to save up time, you can just choose one of these presets that's already here so that you can just adjust the design and do what you want with it. So if you want to add a section, let's try and go ahead with about. Is on the top list. We have about. You can go ahead and choose. We have here an about us with the theme picture. Let's go ahead and hold click, left click, and then drag it down. If you see a blue layer over here, that means it reads that you'll be putting this section over here. If you want to go it up or put it up here, it will also display a blue layer. For my system or for the system that I'm making, I wanted to put here. Now that I've placed my section, as you can see, it's clearly over here. That makes it even more appealing to see rather than just one blank. And since the color is yellow, we can adjust this, but yeah, it will depend if the given section is color or image. If it's an image, then you might want to edit it somewhere else. I see. If you remove the image, you remove the rest of them. So yeah, since if this section doesn't fit your design, you can always go ahead and delete it. Deleting this, you have to hover on the section. The section again is the color green. So if you're hovering and what you're seeing is not a color green outline, then that's not a section. So go ahead to the right side and click trash. And let's go back to the add elements. I'll be choosing one of these about us, and you can choose your own. So right now we have a design that I've just put up, and for me, I want to add some more layers here for my funnel. We also have a welcome. The welcome is seen at the bottom part of this list. If you don't see anything that's displaying, then it must be loading for now. You can also switch it up from other ones that if it still doesn't load. Okay, we have it now. There we go. Take note, some of the sections may be bigger than what you expect. As you can see here, it's just a small or thin lane, thin layer, and then if you compare it here, it's a much more bigger layer. If we delete this, then put this up, and you'll see it's a much more bigger layer that covers up almost the whole page. If you wanna level with the color, you can always click the background color of the header that we just made. And then it's advisable to always use one of these existing colors since it already matches up from the past colors. But if it still doesn't fit your eye, just click add and then use this eyedrop or the copier for the colors. Since this is gradient, I want to match it to the last part of this color. If it says the color is already in the palette, then you must check again. Since I think this is the closest, we can use this one. Yeah, that matches. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. If you already built your funnel steps and you think you're ready to proceed to the other steps, can skip ahead and use this function. At the third option here from the left section or the left part of this funnel editor, you can use add new page from the pages section. So let's click add new page and then let's choose thank you. For now, we don't have anything to put here. So GHL will be building this URL path slug. So let's click add. After that, we already have a blank page. This blank page will have its um, own layer, which is technically blank for now, but yeah, we'll be editing that as well. So comes to me, I forgot to also save this. So yeah, don't forget to save this and then publish if you already published your funnel. Maybe by this point you should take it up as a reminder that you should always save. And if it's already published, save and then publish always. Since I've already saved my funnel, we already have this SEO and AI search optimization. This one is important for those who already published your funnel steps or funnel. The reason for this is that when you search this from Google, the display will be seen from what's in the preview. You can edit the preview by going to the content, keywords, author, images, links, tags, language, and schema markup. If you don't have a schema markup, you can always use Create with AI. Clicking this, AI will be generating your SEO schema markup. You will read your funnel, and then you'll have this output. So as you can see, it says getting all your information available on the page, generating the applica applicable schema. Sorry, but yeah, we can skip this part since we're not publishing this yet. If you want to go back to the SEO and you don't know where to go, just hover on over here and go to the third to the last part of these options. In this section, you'll be going back to the SEO. Now, moving forward, let's go to the thank you page. Before we go ahead and edit our SEO, make sure to be ready on what is inside your SEO and what's the purpose. Sometimes you don't have to add anything in the SEO because you're technically not putting it on the search pages or you're not letting it be searched, but it's published, just hidden since it's only linked to a page. But if you still want to go ahead and do this, that's not my authority to stop you. So since we're already here, as you can see, everything is blank. But let me just open this up again. So I have two editing pages. In this blank part, I'm already thinking I want to open up the first thing that I already edited just to relate the past one over here. One thing about pages in funnels, it's always recognizable if we mix them together. By mixing, I mean they have the same header, they have the same footer, but they don't have to have the same body in the website. So let me just open this up. As I've said from the previous video, there's an option to save an asset. An asset is technically some of the parts in GHL, but the asset that we'll be saving is inside funnels. In this funnel step, we have an asset that we want to take. That's the header. So let's go ahead and save this. To do this, let's hover again to the section part, just so we can take all what's inside of this header. So let's save section. We can name it as header. And then let's go ahead and choose one of these options. To explain this to you again, we have save as a copy, meaning you're saving a template as your own. Once you save this, You can put it up on another funnel step, and that's it. But if you save it as global section, this says here saves at funnel level, meaning you can use it in your funnel as long as you're inside this sub account. So you can um, save it across all the funnels. You can also do that as save templates or saved section templates, but in global sections, the difference is if you edit one of your headers, it will reflect upon the other funnels that you've put it in. And then lastly, in the universal section, we have here saves at account level. If it's on the funnel level, it will stay on the funnels that you have in this level. But on the account level, it can go across other instances, other accounts. So it has the same function in global section. If you save this on the same funnel or on another funnel, what you have will be reflecting on the other funnels that you've just made changes with. So whatever changes that you make, it's still the same on the others. So what do you think that we'll be using in this instance? I don't want to take this long for you. You can pause, but yeah, you can use universal, but for me, it's unnecessary because we already have the funnel steps over here. I don't think we'll be reflecting the same header on another account, so we'll be keeping it on global sections. And then let's click save at the bottom right. So once that's saved, make sure to also save the funnel editor just to reflect everything that we just did in this editor. Okay, there you have it. As this loads, we can go ahead on the next tab, which is the thank you page. Let's try to refresh this just so that we can reflect on this editor that we already have to save the assets that we just did. As that loads, I want to also give time to save another asset that we have, which is the about, but I don't think that will be necessary. I guess one of the things that we just forgot to add is the footer. If you want to go ahead and add a footer, let's just make this quick. We have a pre-built section, and then we have an option here to add a footer. So yeah, the footer that I want to add will be this one. Be reminded to be careful on dragging these sections since just one click, everything will move. So yeah, it's very much advised to have awareness to what you click and edit. There we go. Now we have a footer. So we can go ahead and save this footer test and then global save. Having these things implemented in our funnels is a quick way to edit things. This is the trick for us so that we don't have to go back and forth. Hey, what's the look for the header that I just made? I have to reflect it on the other funnels. This is our quick step on making changes. So if we go back here, we have saved assets. And then we can go ahead and go to global sections. The global sections is where we just saved our header. Clicking this or hold left click will be implementing this header inside the new page that we just made. Now we have the same exact header and the same exact placement. The placement doesn't actually put it where you just placed the header. It will depend on where you want to put that header. Same goes to footer. So right now we have a header. You can go ahead and save this. And then to reflect the footer, we have to refresh the whole editor again. As you can see, we already saved the footer, but we still only have one saved asset here, which is the header test. But before we load this, the thank you page, we can go ahead and add a pre-built section. So let's add this one and then save again. Then after that, we can refresh the whole page and wait again for this to load. And after that, we have here the saved asset again. Go back to add elements and then save the assets, global sections, and it should be here. I guess it didn't reflect, or maybe I clicked universal. Nope. Well, if things doesn't reflect on your page or on your editor funnel, then it's very much advised to go back, go ahead and exit. And yeah, you can see here it didn't reflect thank you page yet. So we can just refresh this and then we can exit this editor. If your PC is very strong, then I don't think that you'll be having any problems in this part. Now that we're back in the thank you page editor, we can go ahead and go back to the add sections, saved assets, and global sections. And yeah, we succeeded. We already have the footer test in global sections. Let's drag this here. And voila. Any changes that you'll be making here will, as I said, reflect on the other funnels. So you don't have to worry. You already have the design. You just have to edit this soon. Save. Okay. Next, we have forms and surveys. But in forms, we already went through this, but we don't have much information about forms yet. So let's go ahead and go to forms. And let's see and find the form that we just made. Let's go to recent, just so we don't have to skim through all of this list. And the last edit was by me. And we have here register. Before we go here, let's go ahead and middle click on this survey and then middle click on quizzes. Since we're done with this editor, we already have the thank you page. Let's go ahead and close this. Now, let's go to register. Inside register, you will have a bigger outline or, sorry, a bigger overlay interface that we can edit on in this form. So as you can see, we already have an R inside the form. And let's try to discuss the things that we have over here on the left side. We have here the personal information section. We have the full name, first name, last name, date of birth, phone, and email. Most of the time, these are the things that are set to required, but sometimes full name is not required at all. It's optional. When does this implement, or when does this instant have the implementation of the forms? Sometimes it's on feedback. If you want to keep an anonymous feedback or let your clients have an anonymous feedback, then you can have the option to add full name, but as an optional one. If you want to require a section, or if you want to require an element, which is the first name as we have, as I said, we have here the required checkbox. So go ahead and navigate to the right side and then go down. You'll see the required checkbox. Clicking this will make it not required if you remove the check. As you can see, the asterisk beside the label of this element disappeared. We can put it back on just by clicking the checkbox again and leave it as checked. If you notice, when I remove the required part, the hidden checkbox reappeared. It goes to unclickable to clickable. If you click the hidden, or making this element hidden, you can have a hidden value, meaning this will have its own value depending when this lead answered. We can have this option as a complexity in our form. This can be relevant to add object fields. If you have a custom object field or a custom field, you can add a specific um, custom field over here, because in the quick add we have here presets. Technically, there are presets, but if we want to add an object field or the contact field, aka the custom field, we can add our own field over here. So on the left side over here are the options of what kind the client can add here, or what kind of asset will be editing, implementing in our sub account. So let's say I want just monetary. Monetary means it will be an amount. If we click phone, there will be a phone number. It will have this drop down, check what country you're in, and the phone number, detecting if it's actually a phone number or does it complete the specific digits of that country. If you only want numbers, then you'll have a numeric input, meaning adding letters will be impossible. That same goes to phone, and same goes to monetary. It's on the sections of values. Why did I skip ahead on text input? Well, it's already obvious. I can explain this in just 30 seconds. We have single line. You can add only one line. We have multiple line. You can go ahead and extend this. And we have text box, meaning we can have separate lines over here, but it's on the same box, just one element. So over here, choosing options, we have multiple options, but just single, um, what do you call this? We can just have multiple options, just only one option to be choose from. You can only choose one option, but it has multiple options. So you can only just choose one of these, whichever is the one is who's checked. We can also have drop down multiple, meaning we can check multiple options. We have radius select. It's stuck with only one option, but at the same time, you can also have this radius select as a multiple, but it will depend on what you check or what you add over here. You can also have checkbox and date picker. Radius select and checkbox has only this difference on how you check this. It's the same one, but radius select is on, yeah. So we have also the date picker. The date picker is when you click this input, you'll have an option or an overlay that displays what date you want to add. You can't type on this, as you can see. When you go to phone, you can type on numbers, but if you go ahead and go to date picker, you can only choose. So let's say we choose August 2023 and then 16. There you have it. So on the others, we have file upload and signature. It almost has the same function, but yeah, file uploads is specifically for files, signature is specifically for signatures. So if you go ahead and choose on signatures, we can add a signature here, but yeah, you can see what's the problem here. Some people can add otherwise rather than just signature or the picture of their signature. But yeah, so to, to move on this part, we can also have these options already added over here. As you can see, there's a lot of options added, but most of those are custom made, meaning we made those. But the contact part usually is saved as pre-built inside a sub account of Go High Level. But if you see something unusual, like Google Drive ID in all caps, start date on small caps, it's actually supposed to be start date, and then you have a start date over here and the full name. And if you try to observe, yeah, that's custom made. You can add a custom made inside this folder of contacts or section of contacts. It will depend on how you save your custom fields. If you want to try on saving one of your custom fields, we can go ahead and have single line, and then let's click next, and then go to name. We can name this label by selecting this input and type on this. Oh, okay. That's actually my bad, since I don't think editing here is possible. Hmm. I think there's an error here, but yeah. As you can see, I can't type. I'm trying to type here. I only click the options of the suggested words. Uh, okay, so as you can see, I tried naming this field, but I can't type here. Those are not from GHL. I only click this and then it didn't put it on the field name. So if you're having a problem here, let's go ahead and go to the other option to name that custom field. So if you're in the dashboard, let's go ahead and go to settings. To go there, you can go ahead and navigate to the left sidebar and go to the bottom part. We have settings. For me, I'll be middle clicking this just so we can still have this option to stay. Oh wait, nah, you know what? Forget it. Let's go to settings and let's remove this. I don't think when we click on the survey and quizzes, it stayed on that part. There's some bugs that we can notice here, but we can always have the other option and go away around of it to continue on our system. So once you're inside the settings, we can go ahead and scroll down and you'll see custom fields. It's on the section of other settings. So once you're inside custom fields, you'll have a different interface. As you can see, it's already updated. So if you want to create a custom field, if you click on create field, then you'll have also a different interface compared to this interface or this pop-up actually. So yeah, let's go and edit this over here. To do that, let's first check what field type we want to add here. So in this video, we'll be choosing single line, add object. As you can see, we can choose what kind of object it will be. It can be displayed inside a contact, displayed inside an opportunity, or inside business. In this instance, we'll be going to contact, and then the folder will depend on where we want to go. So since this folder already exists and we want to keep it as test only, since we're only demonstrating, let's choose test only. If you don't have a folder yet, you won't be able to add any. You can also um, edit your own, but if you don't have a folder, you can always put it inside contact and then move it um, somewhere else later on. Yeah, let's just keep it on contact. So if you have the same scenario with me, we'll be having the same situation. So the field name will depend on what label you want to put it. It should be new client. The reason for this is that we'll be trying to add a hidden custom field. After that, we can also have the option to have a placeholder. And the preview is on the right side, which is the live preview. It says here on the label is new client. The placeholder is add as label. So let's create custom field. It's found on the bottom right, and then we'll have our field instantly. So since we already have our custom field, we can also edit this soon if we want. But let's go ahead and go back to forms. If we try adding a custom field, you should go ahead and refresh this again since we just did a change and we want to implement that inside. It won't reflect inside the editor if we just created an asset. So once you're back over here, let's go to add object fields and navigate to contact since that's where we put it inside folder. And as you can see, it's not reflecting again, even though we already have it over here. It's not reflecting, meaning it's the sign to go back outside this form or this editor and go back again. Let's go to add object fields, contacts. Oh, okay. So I guess it shows that you can click more over here, which I just clicked. So yeah, if it did not reflect, make sure to click that and then add this new client, sorry. This new element that I just added is an optional part, but I want to add this system as an example so that if a new client answers this, then it will have a custom label that I want to add. So I made this hidden. Now the hidden input is new client. Why is that? This one is a reflection, or um, we can say that this can be added as an optional part because I'll be showing a workflow that if a client or if a lead answers this form, then we'll see inside the contacts that it reflected as a new client. It's editable, but still, it's an optional that we can add inside our system. We'll be going back here in the new client and showcasing how this works and why it works. So if you're having this scenario, you clicked on an element and the right side panel did not appear, you can always click on the settings of this outline. We have the trash icon and the settings icon. The cogwheel icon, click on settings, and then it will reappear. So since we've got the forms covered, we can go ahead and save this. And that'll be all for this video. Thanks for watching.